Let me just put my do not disturb mode on. Okay. So hopefully you can hear me okay. Let me know if the sound is coming through all right. We're going to give some time for people to join and then we will start our reading for today. Get all my decks ready. So let's have a look. Okay, so we're just going to do like a general reading today. And then after the general reading, we will open up to like personal questions and you guys can ask whatever questions you have. So hi there. I am on TikTok here and YouTube over here. So I'm going to be watching both sets of comments. So I'm just going to give it a moment just for people to join. I'm going to start getting my cards ready. Happy full moon in Sagittarius, everyone. I hope you all have a lovely full moon and it sparks a sense of adventure. I'm looking forward to this full moon in Sagittarius. I think it's really going to highlight where we have been holding ourselves back, where we've been limiting ourselves, perhaps not like pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone enough. So this full moon in Sagittarius is going to be quite important. I would say use this as an opportunity to really journal on what your big dreams are, what are the big goals, even like where do you want to travel to, like future holidays. Like this can be fun, doesn't have to be super serious. But then have a think about like, well, what's been getting in the way and what can you do which is going to just get you moving closer towards those dreams. So let's see what we need to hear today. We're going to get some oracle cards and then we're going to use the Rider-Waite Tarot. So we have charge ahead. So embrace courage and determination, forging your path with confidence and readiness to overcome obstacles. Oh, no wonder the sound is so low over on YouTube. My mic was all the way on the other side of my desk. Okay, is that better for the YouTube viewers? So yeah, charge ahead. So be courageous, be determined. This is about moving forwards and just being super confident in what you are trying to achieve. Some of us may have been kind of holding back a little bit, limiting ourselves, and this full moon and just the general reading today is like, we can't keep doing that. We can't keep restricting ourselves. We need to push forwards now. We need to decide, okay, what are we working on? And let's do it. Let's charge ahead. So if there's been kind of fears or insecurities which have been getting in the way, then we absolutely need to identify those so that it doesn't continue to be a barrier. That's the last thing we want here. We want to be able to move forwards now and really pursue those goals, especially things that you've been putting off for a long time. So there could have been travel plans which got delayed. There could have been goals which you've just not been very focused on, and you know, we need to navigate that right now. The duality dance: seek balance amid the chaos, find harmony within yourself. So yeah, Spirit's saying if you want to move forwards, if you want to charge ahead, we need to find that balance within ourselves. It does seem that we have been our own worst enemy recently. So by not being balanced within and maybe by not having like a good balance of the various different aspects of our lives, we've been feeling a little bit chaotic. And when we feel chaotic, we often feel ungrounded and we feel like we can't really move forwards and pursue the goals that we really have in mind. So Spirit is saying today, we need to find that balance within, because when we are balanced within and we feel like we are in a state of harmony, we can find our courage, we can find our determination, we can be more confident, and this means we can then move ahead with the goals, with the plans that we have in mind. You may be noticing a lot more signs from Spirit as well. Maybe like the number 11 keeps coming through. Whatever, you might have like a set number that you see as well. I know a lot of people have like a number that is like their number, and when they see that, they know that their guides are close. So you may have to like really notice the signs and synchronicities right now, because they are guiding you on a certain path. Let's get one more oracle and then we'll get stuck in with the tarot. And I absolutely will do some love readings, like a general love reading at the end. We have new heights. Just as I was saying about the signs and synchronicities from spirit, let your connection with spirit ground you as you reach for the sky. So your guides are coming through today because they want to keep you grounded. They want to help you feel more balanced in your life. And they're saying, let the connection with them help you move forward, help you like achieve new goals. The thing is, we're never really on our own, even when we feel totally isolated. We always have our spirit team there, giving us support, giving us guidance. Sometimes we're so stuck in a state of isolation or lack, we don't notice it as much. And I think today, Spirit's saying, well, you know we're always there. Please try to connect more with us. You know, tell us your worries, ask us for help, get super specific with what you want Spirit to do for you. And as you do this, you will start to see that, you know, you're feeling elevated and you are kind of able to move towards your goals just with a lot more clarity and a lot more confidence. So let's use the Rider-Waite Tarot now. Okay, straight up Two of Cups coming out. So the Two of Cups, I know that over on YouTube, Prissy, you asked for a love reading, and here it is. The Two of Cups, this is our card of relationships and harmony. It's also a card of choices, but I do feel that we are moving on to love now. So with this Two of Cups, we have a specific relationship. I'm going to have a look into like what's going on here. So what is the current state of this? Okay, the first thing I am getting is the Divine Feminine here. She's got like a green thing around her head. She's ready. She's ready. Whereas the Divine Masculine energy here is a little bit hesitant. He's wearing red. That's the first thing I was drawn to, and was getting this really strong message that you may feel ready for something that someone else currently doesn't feel ready for. This doesn't have to be romantic. This could even be like a business partnership or a friendship. Say you want to make plans with someone and you're like really ready to make plans, and the other person just might not be as ready to make plans. So just be mindful, like sometimes just because one person's ready for something which the other person isn't, it doesn't mean it's not meant to be. It doesn't mean kind of like the two of you aren't going to work out or it's not aligned. It's just about being mindful of other people's circumstances and their energy. And I think that's a big message today, especially with a full moon. This could be really short-term energy here. Full moons can bring about different things for different people. If this full moon could be hitting someone hard, you know, it could be making someone really pull away, really kind of reflect on things. It could be bringing up triggers for them. For other people, you might feel totally fine. It might just spark a sense of adventure. Maybe it's got you thinking about what's next and you're feeling super ambitious and you're wanting to expand. But we don't know how this is going to affect different people. And I just feel that today in particular, Spirit is saying we need to be mindful of how other people are feeling right now and not necessarily expect someone to bring the same thing to the table. Just because we're ready for something doesn't always mean another person is ready for that same thing. So I think we're just being guided to kind of wait a little bit, see how this plays out, see how this settles over the next few days. And yeah, you can be ready and you can be vision boarding and manifesting, setting intentions here. But I think we just have to take the pressure off other people right now. Even say you've got like a friend and you want to kind of, you've got this idea, this vision for the two of you. If they're not in a great space right now, I think just like let it be. You do your side of things, but you know, don't put any pressure on anyone right now. I think it's easy, especially with full moons, for people to feel a lot of pressure anyway, and we don't want to add to that pressure. So loads of cards flying out everywhere. The Hierophant coming through. So the Hierophant is telling us that a traditional approach is really important right now. You may feel like you want to go back to your roots. You may feel like you want to embrace a little ritual. The Hierophant is about tradition. It's about structure. So you may be feeling right now like you just want to either reconnect with a part of yourself, something from your past here that you feel you've lost touch with, or you may even want to maybe change your approach to things. Maybe you're thinking, okay, well, my usual approach isn't working, so I'm going to change that. I'm going to do something different this time. The Hierophant really comes through when we are having to like identify our values and our beliefs and just kind of check in and see whether we are aligned with them. I've been getting a really strong message recently that when we are aligned with our intentions, um, our responsibilities don't feel like a burden. It's almost like when we are just living true to our values, true to our intentions, it feels easier, it feels smoother. You know, we're not looking at our responsibilities and thinking, oh, that's so heavy, what a burden, what a stress. We're looking at the things we have to do and thinking, I want to do this. This is aligned with me. This is like what I intend to do anyway. So I think we're just being guided to kind of have a little look at ourselves and have a little look at how we're approaching things right now and just making sure that, yeah, this is what I want to be doing. Now we have the Page of Cups. I do also want to mention the Hierophant can speak of a deeper commitment, and this Page of Cups is a very romantic energy. So it's interesting, we have a lot of cards coming out right now about partnership, about commitment. Doesn't have to be romantic, but it could be. The Page of Cups is a new beginning. The Page of Cups is a fresh start. This is coming about totally by surprise. This is not necessarily something that you are prepared for. It's not something that you are looking for, but it's going to happen. And this is what I mean about when we are aligned, we attract these opportunities. We attract these people into our lives who just feel like they're meant to be. There's some kind of soulmate here. Now, I do want to say that over the next couple of weeks, I really feel that you are going to kind of either make a new connection or deepen a current connection. That Page of Cups tells me that someone here is going to be expressing their feelings. And with the Hierophant, I feel like this person wants to kind of talk about kind of shared values, talk about maybe deeper commitment in this relationship. Maybe they're even going to come to you for guidance and for support. But with that Two of Cups as well, relationships, partnerships, they seem to be deepening. I feel like May was a quite like, not a heavy month, but May had a lot of digging. May had a lot of like, okay, we need to build the foundation. We need to, we need to put the effort in. So may have felt like you were just kind of facing lots of challenges and things weren't moving forwards very smoothly. There were delays and restrictions, but ultimately things are starting to progress right now, and we are going to see more opportunities coming about over the next 2 months. I do feel like June, July, these are going to be months of new beginnings, new opportunities, little surprises, like really exciting surprises here. So just notice what opportunities are coming your way, because not everything comes in with like a brass band. I feel like some things are quite discreet. So you may have to kind of notice, oh yeah, that's a new door, that's a new opportunity, that's a new person. Because it might just be that, things are happening quite subtly over the next 2 months. So let's see, let's have a look into this whole situation a little bit more deeply. Yeah, number 5, 5 of Cups. I really do feel the month of May was quite heavy with disappointment. So I don't want to dwell on that. It is in the past, but Spirit is really highlighting like, we see the challenges you faced throughout the month of May. We see that, this has not been easy. It's not been straightforward. There could have been like a sense of loss, like things just not working out here. But ultimately, we're leaving that behind. And when we turn the corner, we are going to see new partnerships, stronger partnerships, new opportunities. And it really seems like this is happening very, very soon. You might feel like you are kind of in between worlds right now. Like you're not feeling super disappointed or unhappy, but you're also not quite seeing the partnership in the way that you want, or you're not quite seeing the opportunities that you're manifesting just yet. But you are being guided to give it a little bit more time, because it's not going to be long before that really does start to change, and you're going to feel much more optimistic about things again. Just be mindful of your mindset. We are experiencing full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius energy is like naturally optimistic. Um, but, you know, it could very well be with this full moon, you're just kind of dwelling a little bit on the past, dwelling a bit on the last few weeks or months that didn't quite go to plan. And your guides are just saying, okay, let's turn around, let's look at the other opportunities. Let's not dwell on what's happened. Let's leave that behind. It's done, it's in the past, it's history. We don't need to focus on it anymore. Let's use it as a learning experience and move forwards. So if you and I don't know, like, if you and a specific connection here, if there had been like a fallout, a disagreement, in the month of May, I feel we're moving away from that now. I do feel things are getting stronger. You might not be fully there just yet, but it's not going to be long before there could be an opportunity here at some kind of reconciliation. There could even be kind of like a new partnership, which, you know, comes about, and sometimes it happens in that moment of like just deep surrender where we just fully let go of you know, of the past, and we're like, okay, I'm opening up to something new. Then before you know it, there could very well be this new partnership which does come into your life. Even, you know, you've parted ways with a friend, you've parted ways with like a business partner. There's another partnership coming. So, Ace of Wands, yes, we are all about new beginnings here. So Spirit really does want to confirm this is exciting. This is a bit of an adventure. The Ace of Wands, we're getting our spark back. We're feeling kind of rejuvenated. That Ace of Wands is all about new beginnings, and these are new beginnings that we are really pursuing. Charge ahead. We're moving forwards with this. We're getting an idea and we're like, I'm just going to move forwards with it. I'm just going to give it a chance. How many ideas do you have which you just let go of? You know, I personally, like, I've got ADD, so like my mind is constantly full of ideas, and I always see it as like I have this bunch of balloons, and sometimes I just like have an amazing idea, and I just don't write it down, and it just kind of, it ends up flying off into the sky, and then it might come back to me later on, but that's like a missed opportunity. So I'm not saying like do everything at once, like take every idea you possibly have in this moment and move forwards with it. I'm just saying if there is a spark, if there's an idea, an urge to do something, then do it. The energy is so aligned right now with you being confident and determined and kind of like pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And I always feel, for those of you who are focused on kind of love, or want to know about love right now, I always feel when we are busy following our passions, doing our thing, people know. People know we attract good energy. We attract good opportunities. Sometimes we have to be busy and distracted so that we're not obsessing over love. We're not obsessing over a connection. So you are being guided. Take this Ace of Wands, take this idea, move forwards with it, charge ahead, find your balance and harmony, connect with spirit, and kind of leave the rest to spirit, to, you know, just be open to this happening. Absolutely, Gretch. Busy generating wealth for ourselves. Totally. This is all about us finding our passions, making sure that with this Hierophant, we're not just repeating things because they're familiar to us, but we're actually connected to our beliefs, our desires, and we are moving forwards with those goals and dreams. It's really important that we identify like what our values are right now and kind of figure out our intentions so that we know how to move forwards. When it comes to love, these cards are saying, look, it's going to be fine. Okay, may not have been a great month. Maybe like things have been a little bit rocky with love and, you know, partnerships and friendships recently. But ultimately, that's going to improve. We're going to have some nice surprises here. We just need to be open to it. And we also need to be busy. We need to be distracting ourselves. Trust me, the more you dwell on it, the more you focus on it, the more you just focus on the disappointment or the lack. It's like anything in life. If we feel like we are missing something and we start to overthink that and obsess over what we're missing, it becomes a block. We attract more feelings of lack. Whereas when we are just like, okay, I'll accept it. It's not what I want it to be right now, but I'm working on a place of acceptance. Instead, I'm going to do these other things. you start to see the shift in that specific area. I love that, Yesenia. That is so empowering, so powerful. Exactly what Spirit wants you to do. What's funny here, as I was reading your message, look, we had the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands, this is like packing your bags and moving on. So, you know, you said you've moved out, waiting on your little house to be ready. Here it is, this little house in the background. And this, you know, this cycle's soon going to be over for you, lovely. Okay, so 10 of Wands. Sometimes we carry so much with us, we just can't see things clearly. And I think, you know, it's a big message. I don't want to repeat it too much. But, you know, this is about our perspective. Funny how I said I always have my hands full of all these balloons of ideas. Here it is. You can't possibly follow through with every idea at once. Sometimes we've got to put the other ones down safely and take the one that we feel most excited about, or the one that we feel, you know, it's ready, it's the right, it's ripe, it's the right energy, the right time for. But we need to really check in with ourselves, especially with this being a full moon. Where are we at right now? Mentally, how does our body feel physically? Do we need rest? Do we need exercise? Do we need to shift our energy by moving? You know, I think it's like the common perception, like, okay, it's a full moon, everyone's going to need an early night, go to bed, you're going to struggle sleeping, you're going to feel tired. And we can't go into that with that mindset, because it might not be that case at all. You might feel like inspired and creative. So Spirit is just saying, like, let's keep an open mind. Definitely use this as an opportunity to identify all the things that you are currently carrying right now and where you feel there's too much burden. And there's obviously things here that we need to release so that we can move forwards. You know, you're not going to make fast progress if you're carrying 10 wands. Maybe just carry one wand and you'll move forwards much more quickly. So we do need to be mindful of our load right now and just make sure that, you know, we are we're in the right headspace for this next adventure, for this next journey. So I'm going to get one more card and then we'll see what direction Spirit takes us in, but I might open up to some personal questions in a moment. So let's see. I've got one more card. Yeah, Four of Cups. So Spirit really is confirming, look, there's going to be a surprise. There's going to be something offered to you. I know with this Four of Cups, I know that you're feeling a little bit bored, a little bit unhappy. That's okay. Your arms are folded here. You know, you're not necessarily open to this, but it's going to be fine. I feel like today Spirit just really wants us to reach a place of acceptance. This is about accepting, okay, we've been let down, okay, things haven't gone to plan, but that doesn't mean that what we are attracting next isn't going to be fulfilling. Keep an open mind. Don't expect, you know, disappointment. Don't expect things to not work out. We need to just be very balanced. And like I said, find that inner harmony so that it starts to reflect in our external world. Our environment is a reflection of our internal circumstances. So if we feel stressed, we notice the stress around us. When we feel balanced and in this state of harmony, that's what we see in our world around us. That's what we attract. So I really do feel that a big message right now is about finding the energy that you want to embody so that you can attract what you want to attract. So guys, I'm not going to get any more cards for this reading. I feel like we've got quite a strong message from Spirit and I don't want to just keep repeating myself. So we'll take this message and use the guidance and do something with it with this full moon. So I would like you to let me know any personal questions you want me to look into and I will do as many as I possibly can. So if you have a personal question, let me know. I'm on TikTok and on YouTube, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on both sets of questions. So if you can't see a question that I'm answering, it's just on the other platform. So, first one, Rachel, will your Taurus DM ever be ready to talk again? Well, the cards are flying now. Okay, we have Eight of Swords. So this person right now is in a state of anxiety and they're not in the right place to talk at all. You know, they don't feel like they can have a productive conversation right now. This person could be overthinking what's going to happen, you know, what what's going to, you know, what's going to come from this conversation. So the Eight of Swords, they're not ready yet to have that conversation, in all honesty. But Four of Cups, it feels like, you know, there will be a future opportunity to talk things through. Definitely feel like this is something that you're both worrying about right now. It's on both of your minds. And whilst there is no communication, I also got the Lovers. It doesn't mean that this isn't going to change in the future. You know, it really could be that, you know, things start to shift. Number 6 as well for the Lovers, June. It might even be that by the end of this month, this has already started to change. You are being guided to, you know, work on your headspace and try to kind of identify your worries and your fears and work through them so that you can surrender them. And, you know, the communication will come when both of you are ready for it ultimately. But yes, this person will be ready to talk again. The connection's not done. It's just they're not ready yet. And also it seems like you're not ready for a conversation yet as well. So just try to let go of some things and see what happens. So Gretch, leave it to spirit what comes out as a message you need to hear right now. So let's see. Okay, Gretch, first of all, you have to trust your own knowing. You have such a strong connection to spirit already, and you really need to trust that connection, trust the gut feelings that you have. I am hearing the song Money, Money, Money. So I know that you are going to see lots of growth and improvement in your career and finances over the next few weeks and months. I can also see you kind of leading a board meeting of some kind. So I think that there's going to be an opportunity there to present your ideas. Now, Page of Swords, your guides really want you to just be confident in your words. You may feel like it's quite difficult to express yourself right now, or maybe you're having a hard time finding the right words. There's clearly some clouds around, there's clearly uncertainty around you, but your truth is your power. So when those opportunities come, both in kind of friendships, family conversations, business conversations, speak your truth. You know, this is about clearing that throat chakra to make sure that you are communicating clearly and expressing your ideas. You're having some amazing thoughts and ideas right now, and you just need to really connect with them quite deeply so that you'll start to move forwards with them. But ultimately, plenty of new beginnings and opportunities here, Gretch, so you just need to enjoy what comes your way, enjoy those beginnings, and be quite curious right now, be quite explorative. You know, this is about not really knowing the end goal, but just kind of enjoying those first steps on the journey. You know, it's like, how excited are you when you're getting on a plane, you know you're going on holiday. You've no idea what's going to happen on holiday, but you know you're going somewhere. And that's the kind of energy I'm getting here. Like, get excited for the journey ahead. Might not even know the destination just yet, but we just know that something new is starting, and that means we should feel great about it. So back on YouTube, Karina, you saw a job as an office manager assistant. Any clarity on if this is for you? Okay, so in all honesty, I don't feel like this is sparking something right now. Doesn't mean that it's not going to be stable, it's not going to be secure, but the judgment here is for you to really think about, does this feel purposeful? Does this feel like it's enough? It might be that this is more of like a stopgap right now. I don't feel like this is like the big dream, you know, but I get the sense that it could work out. It could be like, you know, you could get the job, it could be fine, but ultimately I just feel with that judgment card, you've got to really identify what your calling is and do more of it. Sometimes that means we get a stable job which just brings in, you know, enough money, and then we can do our passions and hobbies on the side whilst we're figuring out how to kind of, you know, make an income out of that. So yeah, I think judgment is just guiding you to really trust your own, you know, your own intuition about this. It's certainly an opportunity, but I just feel that there is something a bit better coming along. So, you know, maybe just see what else kind of comes your way over the next couple of weeks as well. Okay, pretty guidance for your career success. Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, this is about you showing your creativity and approaching things differently. I feel like you have a very unique perspective, or you've got just like there's something about you which is really, really unique, and you need to bring that personality into the work environment. So rather than feeling like you need to be super professional and maybe corporate like, this is saying like, no, just be you. You know, let yourself have fun. I feel like you're going to bring fun into the workspace. So just don't feel like you need to fit in order to have career success. I feel like you're going to be different. I feel like you're going to just bring a sense of excitement and enthusiasm to the team, and this is what's going to make you successful, you know, when it comes to your career. You know, I really feel that you're just bringing something unique to the workplace, and that's going to attract opportunities that are aligned with you, because ultimately, like, when you're being you in a situation, you then attract really authentic and aligned opportunities. If you're wearing a mask, you're attracting opportunities for the mask. So you might be attracting opportunities, but it's not really what you want. And you're thinking, well, why? Why do I keep attracting these, you know, same opportunities which just don't feel great for me? And it's because you're not being you. So I think in order for you to have that career success, you're being guided, look, you just be totally you, totally authentic, be fun, and show your creativity, you know, show your uniqueness, and you'll attract surprising opportunities which you know, really do bring a sense of fulfillment. Okay. Anushka, is there something long term between you and G? So let's see. Okay, Seven of Cups. So it's possible that the Seven of Cups is also like a card of kind of illusion and options as well. So you are being guided to keep your options open. There may be potential here, but there's also going to be other possibilities. Try not to get caught up in like a fantasy about this person. I feel like the more grounded you are, the more that you can really see this relationship for what it is. Is there consistency? Is there effort here? Because I do feel that you're being guided to really think about, you know, whether this is what you want to attract. But Seven of Cups just tells me that you're going to have choices, and even if you can't see those choices right now, you are going to have them, and you're just being guided to have fun with it and really enjoy love, enjoy life right now, and you'll attract more and more. So something long term here, you know, it's possible, it is totally possible, but just don't feel like really fixed on it and make it into like this big, you know, kind of like fantasy and dream. I feel like Spirit's saying, look, just get grounded right now, and you know, if you're really grounded about this and have kind of like a clear mindset, a clear headspace, you'll notice whether this is actually bringing fulfillment or whether there's something else which actually ticks more of your boxes. Okay, so Christy, will something happen between Dom and you? Okay, let's have a look. Five of Pentacles. Okay, what is going on here? So will something happen between you and Dom? Someone here is feeling left out in the cold. Someone here is feeling a little bit abandoned right now. So let's get some more cards out. Let's try and identify what's actually going on here. We have the Seven of Swords. Okay, lovely. So this is an interesting energy. I feel like someone here has faced a past rejection that they're struggling to let go of. So I don't know if this is you or if this is Dom, but one of you here has clearly been betrayed in the past, and it's finding it like difficult now to move forwards from this. So I feel this person is like unable to move on from this disappointment, this deception, and that's why we're kind of stuck in this space right now. So will something happen? Only if this person, whether it's you, whether it's Dom, only if one of you lets go of what happened. We have to leave the past behind if we're going to move forwards. We've got the Page of Cups here. So, you know, there's going to be an opportunity for something romantic, but I think the success of this connection really depends on whether you and this person are really ready to move forwards and leave the past behind. So, you know, something could happen with that Page of Cups. There's definitely romantic potential, but it just really depends on kind of, yeah, whether enough of the past has been released. So, Lisa Scorpio, is June going to end on a happy note? Is June going to end on a happy note? Ooh, what have we got? The first thing I heard was inner peace, and then I got the Hermit and the Page of Swords. I feel like June is going to end with you just feeling like you've got answers, you've got solutions. The Hermit, don't look at him and feel like, oh, he's lonely. He's not. The Hermit is doing wonderfully fine. He has everything he needs. He's feeling enlightened. He sees things very clearly and he's enjoying time on his own. So June is going to end with you just feeling really, really content with how things are going. And it definitely seems like we're going to start to see some progress here. By the end of June, the Hermit, the Page of Swords, you're going to have ideas, you're going to have answers to the questions that you currently, you know, have in your mind right now. And it really does feel like you're going to be able to move forwards with this. It seems like whatever answers you're searching for right now, you will have them by the end of this month, and you're also going to be able to put a plan of action into place into like how you're going to move forwards with this. So June is definitely going to end on a positive note where you're like in a place where, you know, you've reflected and you feel like you know what you're going to do next, so that when it turns to July, you're just ready. You've got the plan, you've got the energy, because you've spent that time recovering and, you know, you spent that time reflecting, and now you're ready to move forwards. So Nikki, let's get a message from your mum right now. Okay, the Queen of Wands flipped out straight away. So your mum wants you to have a little bit more confidence. It seems like she wants you to know that like you're doing an amazing job, and she's always around you. I feel like she especially connects with animals. So notice kind of the animal signs that you see kind of on your path, Nikki. But the message here from your mum is like, be confident, you know, whatever's going on around you right now, is, I feel like it's not to do with you. Maybe you're taking things personally. Maybe you're worrying, am I doing a good enough job? And your mum's saying, absolutely, of course you are. Like, you're doing amazing. You need to keep going. You need to have confidence in your ability. You're soon going to start to see more success. And your mum just wants you to like have a little bit of self-belief right now. I think that's her big message, is like, believe in yourself as much as I believe in you. And she absolutely will be around you, especially with those animal signs. So I don't know if there's something on your mind in particular right now, but it's like she just wants you to let go of that worry. Queen of Wands, you know, find your confidence, be in that queen energy again. Because you know you've got wonderful ideas and you have so many skills here. And it seems like with that Queen of Wands, she's saying like, you know, when you're in that queen energy, you're going to attract what you deserve, and she really wants you to be confident so that you do start to attract what, you know, what you deserve. So let's have a look. Is there any more? Okay, yeah, Christy, that totally makes sense. And it feels like you just need to work on releasing that a little bit more, so that you can enjoy the connection with Dom and not kind of let what happened in the past make you worry about what's going to happen here. Okay, so last one. Anna, any new love on the horizon for you? So let's see. Anna, any new love on the horizon for you? Have a look. Okay, we have a Four of Swords. So any new love on the horizon? Not yet. Not yet, but there's a reason for it. I feel like you are still finding yourself. You're still getting clear on what you want to attract. You want to attract love, but do you know what kind of a partner? Do you know what kind of a relationship? I feel like you're just being guided to maybe set some intentions right now, and you know, keep healing, keep working on yourself, you know, doing your reflecting and journaling and stuff. I just feel like There is love coming, of course there is, but it's just not yet. But there's also no rush for it here with that Four of Swords. It's like, just wait. I feel like you're still in a state of recovery. You know, I've got the Ten of Swords here, so you've been through something really difficult, and it's like your guides just want you to take a moment to have a break. You know, it seems like once you've done a little bit more healing, or you're just feeling a little bit better about yourself and about life generally, things will start to improve. Let's get another card. So looking into, you know, the kind of person you're going to attract next, I feel like they're going to be a little bit younger than you. Fire energy here with that Page of Wands. This is someone who's going to fall head over heels really quickly. So I think if anything, that's probably why you're being guided to just kind of slow down and not rush love, because when this person comes in, that Page of Wands, I feel like they're diving in. I feel like this person is, you know, going to be really ready for a relationship, ready for a commitment. They're going to want to move forwards quite quickly. I do feel this person, Sagittarius energy. I'm getting that they love travel. You're gonna love kind of like going to places together. But yeah, right now there's clearly some kind of fears and resistance to love that you just need to work through and identify. Sometimes we don't realize what's going on subconsciously. So, you know, maybe this full moon is going to help with that and just help you see, you know, what are your personal kind of obstacles or barriers to love right now. You know, maybe your heart is a little bit more guarded than you realize. So you could work on that over the next few weeks. So hopefully that's helped and everyone has enjoyed their little readings. If you do want to book a reading with me, you can do the written or recorded readings. I've got video options, and every week I do a special offer as well. So, you know, you can always see what the weekly special offer is. Today is the last chance to book this week's, which is a message from your higher self. So if you haven't got that one yet and you want to, head to my website and book that, and I'll do that either today or tomorrow, depending on when you book. But yeah, I think that is everything. No more kind of announcements from me. If you are not yet a Sacred Space member and you enjoy my videos and you want to see my daily tarot readings, you can sign up to Sacred Space in June, and you can use the code JuneBloom. It's on my stories on Instagram. And you get 30% off for 3 months. So if you do want to check that out, and there's no set subscription, so you can cancel at any time. So you can sign up, get the discount. If you're not feeling it after a month, you can just cancel, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, if you are wondering what is available on my Patreon site on Sacred Space, you know, I have my daily tarot videos. We've got Kundalini yoga sets for every possible intention you could think of, guided meditations and more. So it's worth checking out, especially because I feel like it's for total empowerment. It's mind, body and spirit. You know, it's not just more tarot readings, more pick a card readings. It is for kind of healing and empowerment as well. So I will leave that there for you guys. I hope you have a gorgeous full moon in Sagittarius, and I will speak to you next week.